What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Excited to get into it today, answer some questions, talk about business. I think we have a guest joining, so I'm pretty excited about that. I dropped the invite link if you do want to come on live and say hi. Hope you're all doing well. Happy Monday. Hope the weekend's been good. This should be a fun one. I have a lot to update you guys on. The last week has been really good with sales. Really good. We've been totally crushing it. I spent maybe 5 or 6 hours this past week on doing outbound sales intentionally. They're fixing some lighting for me. This is way worse. This is good. I look pretty lit, guys. So I tried to do it. I tried to do the live stream myself today, and I guess Deirdre's coming to save me because my lighting's not good. Did some sales the last outbound stuff the last weekend. Spent 5 or 6 hours and booked 7 or 8 appointments, something like that. And it's been really great. It's been really I don't know what to call it, low effort for high yield in terms of the outbound that I've been doing. So excited to share some of that today. Chase is much better. He had said the lighting looks weak, and now it's good. I don't know what you're doing over there. You're swinging it out. Cool stuff. Okay, so we have a guest that's coming on. Let me just message him here. Link is on YouTube. What's up, Instagram? Okay. So in regards to outbound, I've been using, and I've talked a lot about this, but if you want to book a lot of clients, it's important to have a really good offer. It's important to actually put in the work for outbound. I grew Told Media to 7 figures in revenue, spending $0 on marketing. We've never spent money on marketing. We did start writing Facebook ads before the pandemic. We spent $500 and we were about to spend a lot on marketing, but we just didn't get there yet. Someone asked, did I send the link here? Yes, I'll drop it again. And in regards to the outbound, here's kind of what I'm doing. I'm looking for people, and this is what I did with Told Media as well. I'm looking for people. I call it warm outbound. I don't even call it a cold outbound. This strategy specifically, which cold outbound works incredibly well too. I had an appointment set from cold outbound this week, but warm outbound is people that are looking for your services already. So if you're selling marketing services, they're looking for marketing services. If they're looking for an accountant, and you're offering accounting services. If you run a development agency and they're looking for developers, that is warm outbound. And it makes it very easy because you can identify the people that you want to work with based off what they're looking for, get on a call, and as long as the offer is good and what you do aligns, then things can work out. So what I do a lot of the time is, and by the way, Teddy, I can see you here. You're in the room. I'll bring you live in just a sec. What I'm doing in regards to that outbound is I'm identifying them, and I'm doing 2 things, actually 3 things, I guess, in terms of the operations that works really well. The first is having a good CRM. I use HubSpot. Big fan of HubSpot. Highly recommend HubSpot. What this allows me to do is see everyone in the funnel and manage who I'm doing the outreach to, who I need to follow up, what emails are converting versus not. Then when I do the cold outbound, I'm using Loom. You got to be using Loom. Show face. People don't show face. People are scared to show face. I don't know what it is, but video crushes when you're doing cold outbound. For anyone listening, if you run a business, you have gotten crushed with sales calls. The moment you start a business, your phone is going to blow up if you make the mistake of putting your phone number on your business. And it's the most annoying thing in all these spam calls. That's just what happens. You're going to get a lot of spam emails. How many spam emails have you gotten and I call them spam. It's just companies doing outbound where they actually shoot a video and they tailor it to you. No one does that. So when you do it, it separates you significantly. Now, the last thing that I do, and I've been doing that has been awesome, is using Calendly with Loom. And after I shoot everything, I'm just like, I have a Calendly link that's on the video the whole time at the top right. And I also put it at the bottom. And I'm just like, hey, like, to make things easy, if you do want to book a call, my Calendly link's below, or you can just shoot me a message and we can go back and forth. That's how I do it. And that makes it really easy for them to then just go book. And that's what everyone does. They just use the Calendly link. And then I don't have to send an email and do all this, annoying stuff to schedule it. So that has been working really well. Again, I spent like 5 or 6 hours doing outbound and lined up like 7 or 8 appointments, and it's just been like crazy off the wall. But we can get more into that. If you guys do have questions about outbound, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm going to bring on Teddy here, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about growing an agency. So what up, Teddy?
What's up? I tried to be like you today with the hat.
I like it. I like your hat better than mine. This one's so dirty. How's it going, man?
It's good. We actually just had our second meeting with the first client that we got on board, and kind of just went over the stuff that we said we were going to do for him as far as doing some social media management. We went over his website, going to restructure all of that. And pretty much just, make sure he was comfortable with everything that we spoke with at first. And now we're ready to start working and slowly start to grow this thing.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. For context, for everyone watching, you started a social media, like digital marketing company pretty recently, right?
Yeah, we launched last Monday, actually.
Dude, that is awesome. You already have your first client.
Yeah, I talked to, so his wife used to work at the high school that I went to. They were big into insurance, and he ended up selling his insurance and got into real estate. He was really on the investing side, but the market started going crazy, and he's like, you know what, let me just start to get into the buying and selling side of things. So he started doing that, and I reached out to her and was like, hey, we're starting this up. I'd like for him to be our first client. And we kind of talked like that, grew a little relationship. And then I told him we were launching soon, and he's like, hey, I'm ready. I need leads. I want to be you guys' first client. So that was pretty much it. And it's been going well so far. So I can't really complain. We have a couple of, I have another agent reached out to me, said he wanted to do a restructure of his website, and he needed some other assistance as far as marketing techniques. So I'll be calling today at like 2:30, I believe. And hopefully we can close in on that one too. So
that's awesome, man. Well, congrats. That's exciting. So right now what you're doing, it sounds like, and I don't know if you meant to do this, but are you specifically doing social media marketing for real estate agents?
Yeah. So it's something, pretty much social media marketing. We do photography, videography. So for their listings, we'll come out, do some photos, some drone footage. We also,
what kind of drone do you have?
Well, my buddy has, I forget the one, he actually just got a new one. It's like a racing drone.
Okay.
So it's set up to like he can hold the button and it'll just take off, or he will
Nice.
tap it and it hovers over a certain spot. He can reverse it. I like all types of stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know how to do that part of it, but and then he has all these crazy cameras and stuff. So we decided if we tried to come up with a whole holistic package and kind of have everything in house, that would be a way to generate more clients instead of going from, you have one photographer, but you need someone for lead gen, and then you have someone for social media management. So we thought maybe if we did a whole package in one, and it'd be like a one-stop shop, it'll be more attractive to clients. So that's kind of how we did it. And I mean, a lot of people is liking it. I don't think our price, I wanted to talk to you about my pricing, because I don't want to undervalue myself, but then again, I don't want to be too expensive and we're brand new and they're just like, who the hell are you?
For sure. I totally get that. Well, let's start there then. What's your biggest question in regards to pricing? Is it just what should I charge out the gate?
We decided at first we were going to do $2,000 a month. And basically we want the recurring aspect of it. We would do the one-off services. Like if someone just needed a website, we would do that. It would be more expensive. So we kind of pitch in like, hey, let us just monitor everything at this rate. And that way they're kind of like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. So we decided to do $2,000 a month, and that would include social media management. You would get like 3 posts per week, and that'll be on Instagram and Facebook or whatever social media channels that you have linked. And then we'll do some monthly analytic reports, kind of showing you the before and after we start engaging. We do a lot of color scheming. That way, on their social media channels, it's one color that's going across, and people are more attracted to it.
Yeah, so you're kind of like helping them a little with the brand assets.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then we'll create custom landing pages for their listings, and that'll kind of give them another channel of generating leads along with the ads that we run from Google and Facebook. And we're potentially thinking about trying to do some YouTube ads as well, because that's kind of like no one's competing in that area when it comes to real estate as far as YouTube ads. It's kind of just Facebook or Google. And I'm like, things are changing now. So we're trying to get more of that video effect where we can put stuff on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So that's kind of what we decided. And then I decided, like, well, there's a lot of new agents coming into the industry that may not have the capital to work, to do the $2,000 a month. So we decided to do like kind of a smaller package where it's just kind of like we're pretty much doing social media management, giving them a little bit of feedback of as far as analytics. So we broke it down, and we did that for $750 a month. And then with a bigger package, we decided to just scale it down to $1,500 a month. So at first I thought like maybe as far as like how much work we put in, I was trying to see how many hours would it take us to do a specific project versus what we're getting paid, and kind of see if it weighs out. But then when I started doing Google research, it was like most of the services that we provide individually, they were charging like $1,500 to $2,000 a month for one specific thing. So I was like, well, maybe we are in a good spot if we're doing everything at once under just a certain price. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to like kind of scale it, but I know once we start growing, eventually I have to raise the price a little bit and
for sure. Yeah. So in regards to pricing, there's a couple of things you need to really think about, and it's kind of like overarching strategy here. So like at first you don't have portfolio, so it's like, great, let's get clients. We won't charge as much, so we can build portfolio. But then like you start realizing like, oh, we're breaking even, or like you could potentially even losing money. Not necessarily because you're probably doing a lot of the work, but what you need to do in regards to like thinking about things is think about like if you hired people. So like, okay, if we're charging $2,000 a month and we scale this thing to think about what 20 clients looks like. Okay, who do I need on the team to do that? Well, I need someone doing paid media. I need someone building landing pages. I need probably a designer, and I also need someone doing like the social media management side, maybe 2 people if you're, when we're talking like 20 clients,
exactly.
And then you need someone doing the actual both getting the videos and then editing the videos. So like that is probably, out of everything you talked about, that's probably the hardest part and should be obviously charged for, because like shooting and editing video is going to be like one of the most expensive / time consuming things.
Exactly.
If you start either doing that in house or outsourcing it, because drones are not cheap.
No,
I've been looking into getting one, and they're not cheap. So what I'll say here is, on your end, good that you landed a client. Freaking awesome. You're pretty much getting paid $2,000 a month right now to learn, which is awesome. While this person's getting a really good price, and like it's probably gonna get like really good value. So just make sure to show the value and go. I always say go above and beyond for every client, but especially for your first clients, go above and beyond, because I've interviewed and talked to a lot of agency owners that run 7-8 figure revenue agencies. And what's crazy is like when you ask, you can hit up any big agency you can think of in your local area and talk to the CEO and be like, how do you go about getting new business? The majority of them, like when I say majority, I mean like 90% of them are going to say word of mouth, which is mind boggling to me because that's not scalable, but that's how this world works. Like you do good work for people, they refer people. And so just make sure that you're doing the good work, but really start thinking about what you have to pay people and really start knowing those numbers. Like for, if you're going to have to, is your buddy your partner, or is he just helping you out?
No, he's my partner.
Okay, so your partner can do the drone stuff for now, which is great. is you scale and get to 20 clients, 30 clients, 50 clients, 70 clients.
Right.
He's not going to be doing the drone stuff, right? I would
Exactly.
assume. So how much does it cost? Are you going to hire people with drones and pay them a day rate? Are you going to in-house that and like get your
Yeah.
own
So,
drone? So those are just some things to think about in terms of like
right.
costs. Then
Exactly.
graphic design, all these things, you need to know your numbers, learn the cost, which will take a little bit of time. Then you
Mhm.
know what to charge. Now,
Right.
it's important to understand how an income statement reads. So you have like your income statement, top of the income statement's revenue, and
Right.
then in an agency world, your cost of goods sold is your employees and or contractors. So in your case, I'd go the contractor route for as long as possible. So when you bring on a new client, just revenue minus contractors gets your gross margin.
Right.
Shoot for 50% gross margin. That's where
Okay.
I'd want to be. So if you're billing someone at $2,000 a month,
Mhm.
you don't want your internal costs to be any more than $1,000 a month.
Right. Okay.
So then that's the top of the income statement. You're going to go through the rest of the income statement to get that net profit. You're going to have marketing costs. You're going to have certain admin costs.
Mhm.
You're going to have software costs, all that stuff. So then the bottom of the income statement, if you're at 50% at the top, that bottom might end up being like it could be like 30%. It could be
Right.
25% after
Okay.
all the other costs. So, um, you want to be at 50% gross margin at least. If you can be more, great.
Okay.
But in regards to like where you're pricing, I think that like, yeah, like $2,000 a month for like, it sounds like you're doing everything,
Right.
is like, you could be in 3 months charging like 4 or 5 grand for that.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
but it's awesome that you got that first client who, like, if you knock it out of the park, is going to tell like 20 people, and you can show portfolio. And people are like, "Who have you worked with? Let me see who have you worked with." This first client was a referral. When you start like getting outside of referrals, it gets like a
Mhm.
little bit harder to close. Just they're going to want to see portfolio. So
Right.
I think your situation's awesome. I think like you're doing everything right.
Okay.
So I give you a lot of credit.
Thank you. Yeah, so like I was telling you over Instagram, I at first I wanted to do just a marketing agency and it was just going to be small businesses in general. And then I thought like, well, maybe we just need a niche and kind of get into one industry that we're really are just going to be known for. So I had broke it down and I either wanted to get into either financial advisors, healthcare, or real estate. Um, and I was in the financial industry before I left and tried to start my own thing. And it was just, it's different now because all the financial advisors I know are a lot older than me. So when it comes to marketing and trying to pitch, like, hey, you need to, scale your business to the younger generations that are going to inherit all this wealth, and they're not just on Facebook, they're on Instagram and all of that. And I didn't want to have that hassle. So I was like, you know what? If I go into real estate, I know there's younger real estate agents that are up and coming that kind of already know these social media trends. So I was like,
Mhm.
all right, then maybe I can just get into real estate. And then I scaled it out to not only just agents, but the brokers, the loan officers. So pretty much all real estate professionals in general, but it's still under that same industry. So we thought about that, and I was like, you know what? I think it's best that we just niche our down to just real estate. So,
I think that's great. I think you're doing everything like the most important thing is what do you do? Who do you do it for?
yep.
We're taking a different approach and not doing that. We decided not to niche down, and like there's a lot of reasons for it
Hmm.
for us, but like if I just wanted to make $1 million and like scale the shit out of something,
Right.
like what you're doing, you're going to build an expertise where like you can serve a real estate agent really, 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 really well because
Right.
you're going to learn how to generate leads at the lowest cost possible for
Right.
someone. So I think you're doing everything right. I think like I guess the biggest thing is just going to be like once you get like portfolio built up, then like it's just hitting the streets and bringing a new business.
Yeah. And that's, I think, like you said in the beginning, it's going to be kind of that word of mouth type situation, which I was telling my partner when we first get this first client, I'm like, look, we don't even have to charge them what we would normally charge someone. Let's just get someone on board. And this is going to be a learning process for us. And it'll kind of we'll know our strength, we'll know our weaknesses. But at the same time, we're building something for someone. And it's going to be kind of one of those long lasting relationships because they're our first client. We kind of know them more personally and then go from there. And, once we do the work good, I would be highly surprised if he's like not referring us to anyone. So as long as we do well, I think, and I had sent him my business cards last week, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to one of the houses down near you." So there's about 60 agents there, and he was like, once we start working, I'll go ahead and give them the information, because each agent wants to kind of know, like, oh, well, who's doing your marketing and all of that. And if you're like, oh, well, I hired Teddy to do this, and his team is doing really well, that agent may want to hop on board too, because everyone wants to be successful in their career. So
Yeah,
that's
for sure. I think don't wait for referrals though. Like
oh yeah, no, yeah.
cold call, heavily cold call.
Okay.
We literally are cold calling real estate agents right now, and it's
Yeah.
working really well.
Yeah.
Real estate agents are great for cold calling. I love it because real estate agents, a lot of times don't have gatekeepers.
Right.
You get right to the agent when you cold
Yeah.
call. So I mean, just literally like, and it's great because when you do the call, it's like, hey, I like run a company and we help real estate agents grow with
Mhm.
social media marketing. Would love to just jump on a strategy call, show you what's working right now.
Right.
Would you want to hop on a call for 30 minutes? And like give them value and you have to like perceive it in the pitch, which is just like what's great is like you can talk specifically about real estate agents you're helping. Like we just helped a real estate agent like generate all
Mhm.
these leads, crush all these sales. We'd love to show you exactly what's working in 2021 that
Right.
like, a lot of real estate agents aren't leveraging. And once they know about it, it's just like whatever you use to like sell once you like figure out how you're going to generate leads, etc.
Exactly.
really well. But like I would get moving with this client as quickly as possible to get the portfolio work of like the drone
Yeah.
footage, all that stuff. So you can just start calling. And
Exactly.
when you go to call, I just hire a VA for like I think like $3 or $4 an hour, and I just have them like pretty much scrape Google. So like they pick I pick a couple cities and I say, hey, just real estate agent Denver. Go through the list. I have the lead list. I load it up into HubSpot, and then I do
Mhm.
all my cold calling right out of HubSpot,
Right.
which is great because the call's all recorded. So then if you haven't used a CRM before, I don't know if you're in insurance or in financials, maybe you did, but
Yeah, we use Redto.
okay,
Yeah. So we
yeah.
use
So whatever you're comfortable with, I would just like do something that like kind of tracks everything that you can call from. I really
right.
like that in HubSpot. I can listen to a call. So if you start hiring salespeople, you want to be able to see all the activity that was done on that lead. And
Right.
like before I jump on an appointment, I can listen to a call to see like what was actually said on that call,
Yep.
all the notes, all that. So then like when we get on, it's just easy to like be a little more prepared.
Right.
But once you kind of get your CRM set up and like just get those systems set up, again, I'd be like calling nonstop.
Yeah.
To, just
That's what
nonstop.
I've been doing. But it's good. Like, you get some people that want to listen, and you get some like, oh, I don't need marketing, and it's like, okay, and that's
Have
just
fun
part of
with
it.
it. Have
Yeah.
fun with it. I mean, I never cold called in my life before I started this project, and I cannot believe how effective it is. Like I'm blown away with how
Right.
many people I called, and the gatekeeper is so nice, and they're like, "Yeah, sure. Here's the person's email." I'm
Yep.
just like, "What? That is so
Easy.
crazy." It's so crazy, and it
Right.
like there's different approaches to cold calling. My personal approach is just really friendly, high energy. Like I want them to hear my voice and then get like a smile on their face.
Right.
So like when I call, it's just like literally like right out the gate, like, "Hey, how's it going?" That's how, and like usually they laugh because they're like, "What the hell? This person's like
Yeah,
so
who
like."
is this?
Literally, if you listen to my call, they're like, a lot of times people laugh, and they're like, "Who is?" They're like, "What's going on? Who is this?" So, but it works super, super, super well. Um, and I never you anyone watching, you're gonna start cold calling. Very simple and straightforward. Do not start like pitching or like be nervous. I just am personable. and I don't make things hard. Literally, the first thing I say is I just kind of laugh at like their response. I just go, "Yeah, so I'm calling because I'm looking to talk to the person who's in charge of marketing," and I just stop and I wait for them to respond. And 90% of the time, I'll get the person's info. What you need to do though is never don't take a message. Don't do that bullshit. That's like a bullshit tactic that you got to avoid.
Right.
And there's ways to avoid it. Here's the pro tip. You want to get the email. You got to get the email. It's the most important thing versus like them they're going to try to say like, let me take a message. So I'll be like, who's in charge of marketing? I'll be like, oh, well, Dave is the main guy who's runs the business. But he's not in right now. Like, do you want me to leave it? Can I get your info so I could leave a message or whatever? The way I frame it and respond is I just go, oh, well, if it's easier for you, why don't you just give me his email and I'll just shoot him an email.
Right.
And that works like, I'd say like 7 to 8 times out of 10.
Okay.
And then I'll just email the person. We have a 3-sequence email and it works pretty well. You have to follow up. So make sure that you have follow-up emails scheduled.
Okay.
I cannot tell. I mean, I can go into HubSpot right now and look at the people that are scheduled on appointments from cold emailing or like doing the cold calling with cold emailing. And the majority of them did not respond to the first email. They responded to the second email.
Okay.
So you gotta, and a lot of times what happens is they'll get hit with the third email, and the third email I think we send is just like, hey, I don't want to keep bothering you. So I'm gonna like stop emailing you after this, but I just wanted to make sure that like you're definitely not interested. It's something like that. I showed it on one of the live streams. I don't remember exactly what it is to a T, but a lot of times not a lot of times, but a percentage of people respond to that, be like, no, we're super interested. We just like haven't had the time to check this out. So then you want to put them in a sequence of like what I have a section for it called long duration follow-up. So I give them like a little bit longer.
Okay.
So that's how we go about doing it. But like, man, that's so effective.
Okay.
If you can just hit the streets doing that and like bang those calls out, then what's great is like you start getting a script that works and converts, and then you train someone to do the calling. Now here's another pro tip, and I haven't experienced this I kind of is. Let me rephrase. I have experienced this myself a bit, and it makes a lot of sense. I haven't experienced like cold calling at scale, like having a team, but I've heard and I've experienced by doing my own cold calling. When you hire cold callers, never hire a full-time cold caller. Always hire a part-time cold caller, because a cold caller making 4 hours worth of calls a day versus someone doing 8 hours worth of calls a day is going to yield almost the same results, because there's diminishing returns because you get fatigued cold calling for 40 hours a week versus doing it 10 to 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So when you do hire, you want to hire people part-time, which is great as a business owner if you think about that. Like, it makes it like you can hire someone a little bit sooner rather than later once you like really get started.
Okay. Perfect. Alrighty.
What other questions do you have, Teddy?
That was pretty much it, really. I didn't have a lot of questions. I just wanted to kind of touch base with you and kind of get your insight as far as what I did have to ask. And you pretty much nailed it. I have all my notes down that you've talked about, and I'm just happy to be on here. And thanks for giving me the opportunity. And I have to actually get on this call and call the real estate agent that reached out to me this morning. He just texted me, so I seen it pop up. So
I love it, man. You know what's funny? I actually had a real estate agent reach out to me today that was a referral, because we started working with a real estate agent, and then he just he paid us our monthly rate, and then we were going to do a lot of content for him, and just never made the time to do it, and just like paid us and then just didn't do anything. And I followed up with him a bunch of times because I was like, dude, like I want to help you out, but
exactly.
let's get the video shot. And he just never did it. And then we just stopped hearing from him. We're like, all right, whatever. And then today I just got an email, and he like introed me to a real estate agent that needs the same services. And I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, you got one back, so it's like kind of
Yeah, super
out.
interesting. But we never got off the ground with them, so it's a shame. But
Right.
but Teddy, you're crushing it, man. So to just keep it up, keep it up,
All
keep
right.
it up.
Thank you.
And is you hit like points where you have like certain questions, just feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm
Yeah,
always happy
I
to be
definitely
helpful.
will. All righty, perfect. All right, thank you, Mike.
Cool. Good luck, man.
All right, thank you. See
See
you.
ya. Cool stuff. Cool guy. I always love when people are putting in the work, hustling. I love it. I love it. It's so exciting when you're just getting off the ground. And I love Teddy's approach. He's doing a lot of things right in regards to picking a niche, targeting a very specific audience, and then what Teddy's going to learn as he goes throughout his process is like figuring out, okay, how do we make this scalable? Like, what packages do we sell? And when you're selling packages, it makes things more scalable because you're doing repeatable processes. Um, cool. So make sure I didn't miss any questions here on Instagram. I know we do have some that came through on here. So let me get this one. Okay. So question is, and by the way, guys, if you have questions, drop them. Happy to answer them. Question is, I have a handyman / landscaping business that I just started. Any ideas on how I can get my name out there? Should I offer some free services? Should I try to talk to real estate agents or project managers to launch to show portfolio? Thank you. Okay, that's super cool. I'm a little bit confused about the real estate agent side of things. If I mean, okay, handyman, I get that. Like you're doing contracting work, I guess. The landscaping side, I guess, like I don't know enough about that to be like, hey, go with real estate agents. So here's the first thing for whoever asked this question. I apologize. It says Facebook user, so I don't know your name. But the first thing is like understanding who do you want to be doing stuff for. So if like where is the best way to get new business? If you go house to house and say, hey, I'm a landscaper, I want to help you out. You're acquiring one customer at a time. If, like you mentioned, you can go to real estate agents and be like, hey, I'm a handyman, and they end up hiring you, they might have a bunch of different projects, right? So I think you're very smart right off the bat by being like, okay, I'm gonna target like something like real estate agents so I can get more bang for the buck in regards to, I guess, acquisition. So this is a great question. In regards to getting your name out there, the very first thing that I would do is I love free work. I'm a big fan of free work. I love it if you don't have portfolio or experience to prove what you can do. So in regards to acquisition, I like that. Now, if you've been doing stuff already, you don't necessarily have to do that. You could literally go door to door and be like, "Hey, do you need your lawn mowed? I do landscaping." It's funny. I was actually driving around. Me and my girlfriend Deirdre, we've been looking to. We want to get an off-market house. We want to find an off-market deal, which means not through a real estate agent, which means like hopefully a really good deal. And we've been doing something called Driving for Dollars. It's kind of fun, a little fun project. We want to get a little fixer upper. And we've been driving around. And I've been noticing all these houses have like so some background on this. When you're driving for dollars and find an off-market deal, you want to find a distressed property. Okay, so I'm driving around and we're paying very close attention to the house. Is it distressed? And a lot of houses, because I'm paying close attention, I've realized it's like they need a good power washing. And I was like, man, that'd be such a fun, easy side hustle to just get a power washer and just go house to house. Be like, hey, I saw your like house could use a power washing. Do you want to pay me $50? I'll just power wash your house real quick. So going door to door, you look at someone that needs their lawn or lawn mowed, that could be a way to do it. Now, in the game of handyman and landscaping, I would want to know how are people currently finding handyman and landscapers. I think you're very smart. If you want to get in the real estate world, I would probably be talking to real estate investors. So people that have properties. Now, I don't have context here. So if you give me some more context, I can probably answer it better. Like, I don't know what handyman is like. Do you hang TVs or do you like go and like put flooring in, knock down walls? Like, I don't know exactly what you do, but I would, if you're mentioning real estate, I wouldn't even care as much about the agents. I would care more about the investors and people that are like flipping tons of properties and networking with those people. And that's simple. Cold email, go on Bigger Pockets, find these people, hit them up, be like, I'm a handyman. I would love to like work with you on some projects. And then it's just like networking. But again, how are people finding these services online right now? What are they doing? What are they doing to find these services? Are they typing in Google? Then Chase right here is handyman services in Facebook Marketplace. Oh, that's a good one. Property management companies. So like maybe get on Google My Business. Like if you have a structured business and LLC, then like register it so people can like search you, find the business. Facebook Marketplace is such an underutilized platform. And you can, I believe, market services on there. I actually, when we were doing the coffee stuff, like bumped a coffee listing on Facebook Marketplace. So Facebook Marketplace would be a really great place to look. There's a lot of really good Facebook groups. Facebook groups are big. So like in Austin, there's an real estate investing Facebook group where there's a lot of investors, a lot of off-market deals. If you go in there and you just post that like you help real estate investors with stuff, you'll have people reach out to you. The other thing is like there's probably contracting groups. There's definitely Facebook contracting groups in my local areas that I'm a part of. Join those groups, be active, be helpful to people. That's a good way to get business right off the bat. Once you start building relationships in that world, it becomes very easy to get repeat business if you do good work. Now, in that business, the one thing I'll say is a lot of times that stuff's like really tight knit. So I'd be like really careful with like what projects you take on to make sure you always are taking on things where you can do a really good job and add a lot of value so people will speak highly of you. You don't want to take on projects that like, oh, well, this person wants me to blow through a wall and put up a new wall, and like you totally suck at that, and then you end up doing a bad job. I would like be very transparent with people, like, hey, I've never put in flooring before. I'd be happy to do it, but like I've never done it before. So like, because you don't want to start doing things and then like screwing up and like then your name in your local area gets out to be like, oh, this guy sucks as a contractor, when really like you just should have said no to the flooring job. So keep those things in mind. Chase says most people on Facebook Marketplace suck and don't respond. I don't agree with that. I've crushed on Marketplace, not with services though. So I don't know about services, but it's like a speed game on Marketplace, I think. He said he found his handyman by searching for custom shelf installation. Yeah, so I want to know. I want to get in those communities. I think your head's in the right place by like looking at like investors or like real estate agents. If you guys have any other questions, I'm also going to pop the link again. I like doing these. I like when people come on and ask their questions live. So I'm going to drop the link again. If anyone wants to join, you just click that link to join the stream. Come ask your question. If you do have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat here. So what do we got? 20 minutes. So where did I leave off? I was talking about doing outbound. It was going really well. Loom, Calendly. That's the stack. My stack here, baby. Here's the stack. HubSpot, CRM, Phone Wagon is what I'm using for my phone. I don't know what to call it, but that's what we're doing for our phone numbers. It redirects right to my phone. I got a deal with Phone Wagon because there is something called AppSumo, which if you guys have never heard about appsumo.com, I'm like addicted to the site. They like have lifetime deals for software, and it's incredible. Like I got a lifetime deal for Phone Wagon. I paid once and never again for Phone Wagon. I think I paid like $79, and I get like 5 phone numbers for team members and texting. It's really great. So that's my stack. We use that for phone. Then we use Google Drive for like, I have a script on there that I use. Google Calendar, Calendly, and Loom. And Loom is great. It is so awesome. When you put that Loom video out, people watch it. It separates you. It attaches very nicely to an email, by the way. Now, here's a pro tip. You can set a thumbnail in Loom, right? So the thumbnail is the first thing they see. If you send a cold email, they're going to see a thumbnail of the video before they click it. They're going to maybe read what you wrote, right? But the thumbnail is really going to stick out of the video. So if you can do something smart that really sticks out, like, I don't know, if you just like, I don't know, take a piece of paper and like get like a big marker, and let's say the company's called like, I don't know, I'm going to make something up, or I'll just do like Adidas, or you have the person's name. You can like do this in the beginning. You can't see it. I wrote Adidas. There we go. You could write like Adidas is awesome. And like it's just you smiling. And that's how you start the video off. Again, I do this like a big Sharpie. There's a light here, so you can't read that. But that is a great way to get people's attention. Another amazing thing you can do, which I'm going to be doing, is, let me see if I have it. Give me a sec. Okay. You guys ready for this? This is going to be something you guys have never seen in your life. Never before seen. Pro tip, expert salesman right here. Expert relationship builder. 3D printed logo. Now, this one's not painted. This is an SLS print. This is what I do to build relationships. I take the person's logo and I 3D print it, and then we paint it. Actually, Deirdre does the painting. She's really good at it. So imagine if I was trying to work with these guys right here, right? Now, this is a nice 3D print. This is an SLS print. This is expensive. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Now, I want to show you guys one that's like colored. I don't have one. But again, this would get colored with spray paint. So then I could make a video and just be smiling to start. And it starts like, hey, what's going on? I freaking love Hubstaff and I want to work with you guys. You think they're going to watch that video? Then I'm going to ship this to them. That could be part of your strategy too. Ship out the 3D logo. So that's what I do. That's the pro tip for today. If you want to build relationships, you have clients you sign. I send my clients these and they love it. I haven't done it in a little bit though, just because of the project. But if you guys have been following along the vlog, you probably saw in my room there's couple 3D printers. So let's see here. I haven't been looking at the comments. All I see is I'm looking real swole, looking real good over here. What's the trademark violation? I don't understand that. Someone says, great tip. Didn't know about AppSumo. What's going on? Marut. Hope I didn't say that wrong. AppSumo is awesome. It's freaking awesome. Again, I highly recommend it. It's like, actually, they had a deal on, I think the competitor for StreamYard, which sucks, by the way. It's called Restream. We used to use it. It's not a good software compared to StreamYard, but they had a lifetime deal. And it's like how companies, like it's like Groupon for startups and like tech companies that are like early in their process. So like, for example, I'm looking here, like I use something called Find That Lead to get like people's emails. I paid one time and done, one and done. And paid like $50 and I get like 2,000 credits a month or something like that. Whereas like Rocket Reach is like $70 a month. I just bought another one called Zero In. And that is like, I think I spent like $150 and I get like 10,000 leads. It's pretty cool. That's funny. Oh yeah, I don't think this is a trademark violation right here. I send it to them. This is a gift. I gift these. So what I do is I print out their logo, send it over to them. Actually, you know what's funny? I sent this to the owner of Hubstaff, which is one of my favorite companies, by the way. I love Hubstaff, and he loved it. He loved it. But again, this is an SLS print. I usually don't do SLS. These are a lot more expensive than I use Acrylity. which is like a $150 or $300 printer, and it's more like plasticky. I mean, this is I guess plastic too, but it's just like so much higher quality. Just giving out all the pro tips today. So that's the stack. So we have a question from Brandon. It says, "Hey Mike, I started a coffee e-commerce business, Brockwood Coffee, 4 months ago. Couple questions with your coffee business. Have you had better success with Facebook or Google ads?" I haven't had any success with ads. We stopped running ads. So like both of them work, right? Both work. Google ads is going to be like if people are searching for coffee, whereas Facebook ads, you're trying to get in front of like a certain demographic. Facebook ads takes time. You got to build data. You got to build a pixel. So you have to like have money to invest. Don't just go into it without expecting to spend a couple $1,000s on paid advertising. Make sure that like you're doing everything well though in terms of like product, offer, creative, retargeting. I also would suggest like that you like hire someone that's good. To be quite frank, the couple Facebook marketers or the people we had do our paid media sucked. They weren't good. They did a pretty poor job. So like definitely like spend the money on good people. There's people that specifically do e-com. If you have the capital, I highly recommend targeting those people. In regards to my opinion of influencer marketing in the e-com coffee space, I highly recommend it. That is like where I would have gone so hard if I kept doing it, would have been the influencer space. There's a lot of great tools. There's a lot of great things you can do to get in front of a lot of influencers. And that's a really, there's a different strategy for influencers. So like there's a couple approaches. One is just to get content for your marketing, for your ad creative, for your social media content. So like you're sending the product to the influencer, and in return they're giving you creative video, photos and videos. Then there's the purpose of like giving them a percentage of sales if they post it on their Instagram or their TikTok, etc. I'll give them like for $5 for every sale. That's also freaking awesome. So influencer marketing works great. I'm a big fan. We ended up working with an influencer, and just the creative alone was awesome. Like it was really good, and like the photo quality was great. Would have been really great to use it in ads. Let's see. Hope that answers your questions there, Brandon. Brandon, I'm curious, did you get inspiration to start a coffee business because of the MDC vlog? Like, did you see that I was starting a coffee business? You're like, fuck yeah, let's start a coffee biz. Chase says, you got me to start using Hubstaff. Love it. Hubstaff is awesome because so like our team tracks all their time with Hubstaff. So like when we take on a client at Tilt Media, they hire us to do development work. We bill, let's say 20 hours. It's all tracked in Hubstaff. It takes screenshots of the screen. It logs activity. It logs how much time was spent. And for software, it's really great because we use something called Jira. It's a project management tool. And we can tie our Jira tickets into the time spent. So we can see, okay, we spent this much time on this Jira ticket, this much time on this ticket, this time on this ticket, which are just like pretty much projects within whatever we're building, development wise. And then I can send a report to the client every 2 weeks. So really like Hubstaff. But what it's also great for is tracking your own time. Like if you're like, man, I'm not like getting the shit done I want to get done, use Hubstaff, categorize your time and see how much time you're spending, and you do an audit of yourself, and you might realize like, wow, I'm spending so much time on project management or on market or something that I shouldn't be spending my time on. I need to hire that out. So I like it for a lot of reasons. All right, Brandon says, thanks for the feedback. We started the biz a couple months before I discovered MDC. Solid. Cool. Yeah, like I said, Brandon, I don't know how much money you have to spend, but I highly recommend like going with someone that specifically works with e-com companies to run their Facebook ads. But you got to have the budget to do it. Let me see. Jay said that the MDC project's why he started the Jay's Give Back Grind, which is his coffee company he started. So just for reference, guys, I feel like I wish I made this a little more clear in the project. Is one, if I was starting over in real life, I would never start an ecom business ever, and I would never recommend someone does, because it doesn't cash flow. It sucks up cash. It can be very profitable. You could sell it for a lot of money down the road, but like if you need to like hustle and live, an ecom business is one of the worst businesses, in my opinion, that you could start, other than like a tech company. When you're trying to like survive, service business is the best business you can start, in my opinion. So that was one thing I hope is clear to everyone. The second is personally, that whole situation arose to get into a coffee business because I met someone that was like doing that. So that's why I decided to go with coffee. Coffee is a very tough business to be in. I would never recommend anyone goes into it unless they like love coffee, and are obsessed with coffee. And then you have to pick a market of people. Don't just be like, we make premium coffee. You can't do that. Like coffee for dog lovers is great. So just want to make that clear. But I do love ecom. If if I was gonna build an ecom business in real life, I would want to be like super passionate about what I'm doing, and I would want to, in terms of the product that I'm selling, I'd want to be really proud of the product and like have the capitalization to go build the business. And I wouldn't come in with less than probably 50 grand personally. Yeah, so Chase says that, back to the Hubstaff topic, says that he didn't realize all the features that Hubstaff has, but he uses it to track his time. Again, it's free, everyone, if you're just going to do it for that purpose. So you should go check it out. The owner of the business is a really cool guy. Let's see, did I get all the questions? Hey, John, what's up, man? Appreciate you saying hi. All right, we have 7 minutes here. If you guys have more questions, feel free to drop them below. I do see. Let me see. I think we have something on. How did you get any sales for coffee as more? Okay, so someone actually asked a good question. James asks, how did you get any sales for coffee if the ads didn't work? So there's actually two ways, James, and I highly recommend this for anyone doing anything with ecom related. One, we were on Etsy. So we got a lot of organic traffic for Etsy. But two, what worked unbelievably well that would have continued to work if we continued to do it was TikTok. The first TikTok video we put together was we did a couple $1,500 to $2,000 in sales on the very first video we shot on TikTok. If we just kept doing TikTok and really tried to build our audience on TikTok and social, which if you're the one doing it, then it's free minus your time. That's one of the best ways you can grow your business right out the gate with very little money, is get on the content creation side of things. So that's what I would do, James, if you're or anyone listening, if you're trying to get your business off the ground, you don't have money for ads, content, especially in ecom. And influencers. Influencers are great too, because you can reach out, say hey, influencer, I'll give you $5 for every single one that you sell. So then you give them a promo code. They launch to their list. They sell 100 units. That means you're sending them $500 and you make, I don't know, 2,000. So pretty much profit wise, they made 500, you made 500. If you have good email sequences on the back end and then recurring orders, then obviously you'll make a lot more than 500. Cool. What other questions do you guys have? We got 5 minutes here before we wrap up. I'm trying to think where I left off on the this past week. We were talking a lot about the sales. right now there's a lot of sales in the. I mean, I had a lot of appointments. Uh-oh. Looks like I forgot to switch out the battery. Give me 1 sec, guys. Are we back now? There we go. I totally forgot to change the battery. I use a camera. There's a Canon right here. And right before it, I was like, okay, I have to remember to change the battery, and I just totally forgot. So it died. So we're talking about sales, and I had a lot of appointments this last week. Now it's important to follow up with those appointments. So like, again, that's why CRM is important. You can take your notes about how the appointment went. I take a bunch of notes and then I follow up. And you don't want to leave leads hanging too long, because if you lead them to hanging too long, then the probability of them closing it gets lower. What's also smart is like figuring out, like, can you create time sensitive offers? They're like one-time offers, again, time sensitive, where like if they sign a contract within a certain period of time, they get some form of an offer. Those are some things that can like get people that are on the fence to go over the fence, or people that we're going to wait like a month to like move now. Always give people a good reason to move now. That'll increase your sales and your conversion rates. Jay says Mike is the long lost D'Amelio brother they never talked about. I actually have no idea. I have no idea who that is. Cool, guys. I have to pee super bad, so I'm probably gonna end this for the first time before the 2 p.m. Eastern period. So we're gonna end it right now. I gotta go to the bathroom super bad. If you guys do have follow-up questions, feel free to hit me up on Instagram at Mike Black. I appreciate you all joining. I hope this was useful. Hope you guys learned a little bit about sales. We got to talk a little bit about e-com and a little bit about agency. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you guys in next week's live stream.